One of my daughter's stocking stuffers for Christmas was a book on extreme Bible facts. Did you know that bread is mentioned about 250 times in the Bible? Or that the oldest discovered baker's oven dates to about 4000 BC in Babylon? Here's a great one, and I hope you're not eating bread at the moment. Egyptian bakers around 2500 BC discovered that kneading the dough with their feet instead of their hands made the dough rise instead of staying flat and hard because of the natural yeast between their toes. How cool is that? Okay, so that's pretty nasty. But here's a great one coming off of Christmas. Did you know that Bethlehem literally means house of bread? Now that's a pretty interesting name for Jesus' birthplace, considering that he would later refer to himself as the bread of life in John 6:48. Bread gives us strength to live. It's a general term we use for sustenance. So how appropriate then that Jesus would be born in Bethlehem, the house of bread. And when we take the elements of communion, we celebrate the life that he gave us through his death. The bread represents his body broken for us. The wine or the juice, his lifeblood poured out for us. Jesus is the bread of life. Now, as we rapidly move into the new year, I'd like to ask you some questions. If Jesus truly is the bread of life, how will you feast on him in the coming year in such a way that your life will be characterized by life? Do you have a plan for personal development? Many would say you could do that by reading the Bible. I agree. Others might add in meditation and prayer, contemplation of the Christ, seeking his wisdom for all your decisions in the new year. In any case, how will you be intentional in attaining the life-giving sustenance only Christ has to offer consistently in the next year? And here's another question, especially for leaders. What bread will you share with those you lead this year? That could be in the context of vision casting, sharing encouragement, training, or equipping for any kind of skills, life skills, or anything that produces life in those that you will influence. At Lead Like Jesus, we put a lot of emphasis on servant leadership. Now, some think that means allowing the inmates to run the prison, letting people do whatever they want to do. We're very clear, however, that servant leadership consists of two parts. First, the visionary direction part, and secondly, the implementation part. In the first one, the hierarchical pyramid of leadership stands. You share vision from the top, or back to our metaphor, you provide bread for those that you are responsible for so they can eat and sustain their life purpose. Now, when it comes time for the implementation stage, the pyramid gets flipped upside down. Now you serve your people and you help them live according to the vision that you shared. So I ask you, what bread will you be sharing from the top this year? Have you shared your vision lately? What type of training do your people need from you? What type of skills need to be developed? How will you integrate encouragement into everything you do? Ken Blanchard reminds us that we should catch people doing the right thing. What gets praised gets repeated. Lastly, if Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, how will you point others to the real bread? How can you induce hunger in those who appear satisfied with the moldy bread the world is offering? How can you wisely introduce Jesus to those in your home, your school, work, or social environment? See, people need the bread of life this year. So join me in leading like Jesus this year. Let's live like him, love like him, and serve like him. In this, we will be offering the true bread from heaven, bringing everlasting life to our starving world.